M2 Squared Athletic and Academic Academy. Leadership completes landmark West Africa tour August 6 to 17, 2024. The founder and president of M2 Squared Academy recently completed a significant 12-day tour across 3 West African countries, Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire, and Senegal, reinforcing their commitment to empowering student athletes through academic and sports programs in the region. The journey began on August 6, 2024, with the founder, Marvin Menzies, and president, Clarke, departing from the U.S. and arriving in Lagos, Nigeria. Just as the trip began, Marvin received life-changing news. Daniel, one of the Academy's potential student athletes, PSAs, had finally secured his visa to the United States on his 4th attempt, enabling him to attend college on a full basketball scholarship. The news brought Marvin to tears, representing the culmination of the Academy's efforts to uplift young athletes and create life-changing opportunities. It was a robust validation of their mission to help these young people reach their full potential on and off the court. In Lagos, Marvin conducted an intensive coaching clinic at the Ikeja local military base gym, engaging with local coaches from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. daily. Meanwhile, Gary worked directly with potential student athletes, PSAs, providing technology, social media, and branding training sessions, along with meeting their families and conducting video interviews. The Lagos Marriott Hotel in Ikeja served as their base, offering a comfortable, if not spicy, culinary experience. The wings got Marvin good, LOL. Despite the hospitality, the pair could not help but notice the challenging traffic, poor road conditions, and difficult living circumstances faced by the local population throughout their trip. Each coaching clinic location had its own unique challenges. The gym in Lagos was older and extremely hot, prompting the team to consider using a hotel conference room that could be converted into a court-like setting for future clinics. In Abidjan, they held the clinic in a cramped conference room, highlighting the need to find a more suitable space for next year. Additionally, the language barrier was a significant hurdle, and they recognized the importance of having skilled interpreters and providing French language handouts for all the sessions and participants. In Dakar, the clinic took place on an extremely hot outdoor court, where manual interpretation was required, pointing to the need for high-tech translation devices in the future. Both Marvin and Gary observed that the local coaches in each city faced challenges in mastering specific coaching techniques, particularly in areas like basic defensive and offensive strategies and practice organization.
The power of one, you have to get this message. It's a little hard for some people to get this message. Because if I say, you or me, and I am you, and then all of a sudden you just turn into a man and you've got gray hair, I think this could be a little hard to absorb, okay? But the fact of the matter is, we're all part of these teams, these different teams. So the one that here today, when I leave this part of my team physically, when I'm away from you, I'm just a relative.
Despite Marvin having led these clinics for the past 4 to 5 years, they recognized a continued need for more in-depth training and support. In addition, concepts like nutritional preparation and physical conditioning were less familiar to many coaches. To address these gaps, M2 Squared Academy is committed to enhancing its efforts by introducing ongoing monthly Zoom sessions and a new program called Swish, Skills, Wisdom, Insights, Strategies and Hoops, which will provide short instructional videos from Marvin's U.S. coaching staff and colleagues. The Academy also plans to distribute specific coaching technique handouts, including French translations where necessary, to better support the coaches' understanding and application of key concepts. Additionally, M2 Squared Academy plans to continue visiting these and more West African countries in the coming years, expanding its reach with the support of donors and ongoing fundraising activities. These efforts will provide more structured, continuous learning opportunities to help coaches improve their skills and understanding, ensuring the growth and success of the program across the region. The local coaches were enthusiastic about these initiatives, saying that no other organization was offering anything like what M2 Squared Academy was providing. Traveling through Lagos and later in Abidjan and Dakar proved to be a truly eye-opening experience. The traffic in all three cities was by far the most challenging compared to anywhere on the American continent, if not the world. For many Americans, Africa is often perceived as a single, unified place, but this trip highlighted the richness and diversity across the continent's 54 countries. Each city we visited, Lagos in Nigeria, Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire, and Dakar in Senegal, was distinctly different in culture, language, and atmosphere. The assumption that Africa is one Africa couldn't be further from the truth. Each country has its own history, traditions, and challenges, and navigating through these differences was a reminder of how diverse the continent truly is.
People down in down South Carolina, the way they speak the slangs, and then the West Virginia guys, and then you know what I mean? The slangs, but the kind of little bit, like the West Virginia guy will use their nose.
For example, Nigeria alone has 744 dialects, reflecting its immense cultural diversity. Since gaining independence from Britain in 1960, the country has officially recognized three primary languages, Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo, alongside English, which remains the official language due to its colonial history. This linguistic complexity is just one aspect of the vast differences across the continent, each country contributing its unique identity to the African tapestry. On August 12th, the team faced a hurdle while preparing to depart for Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Marvin encountered an unexpected visa issue at the Lagos airport, which prevented him from boarding the flight. With quick thinking and local connections, Marvin was able to secure an e-visa within the hour, but luggage complications forced him to stay behind while Gary continued the journey alone. In Abidjan, the challenges continued as Gary navigated airport security, which initially confiscated several personal items. Despite these setbacks, the 2-day stay in Abidjan was highly productive. We met with around 20 local basketball coaches at the Fédération Ivoirienne de Basketball, FIBA, headquarters, coordinated through our longtime connection, Carlo Vieira, CEO of Vieira Sport Consult. During the coaching clinic, we presented basketball coaching techniques and shared social media branding guidelines for teams, coaches, and players. Later, we visited the local basketball arena, Palais de Sports de Tricville, where Coach Menzies led on-court practice drills and focused on both offensive and defensive skills training. The event was well received, reinforcing our mission to expand M2² academies reach in Côte d'Ivoire and provide long-term support to local coaches and players. The tour continued on August 14th, with Marvin and Gary reuniting in Dakar, Senegal. They arrived and stayed at the marvelous Radisson Blu Hotel, located along the beaches of Dakar. On Thursday and Friday, during the last leg of their travels, they held a coaching seminar in a spacious and well-equipped conference room with more than 50 local coaches in attendance. The seminar was highly interactive and productive, with coaches engaging in discussions and gaining valuable insights. On Friday, they traveled with all the coaches to a local outdoor court where Coach Menzies conducted hands-on instruction focused on offensive and defensive principles. The on-the-court sessions were translated by one of Marvin's former players, Mokhtar, which allowed for smoother communication with the local coaches. Despite the extreme heat, the session was well received and appreciated, demonstrating the local coaches' dedication to improving their skills and knowledge. Although rain eventually shortened the outdoor clinic, the trip was a success, leaving a lasting impact on the basketball community in Dakar. The visit also provided Gary with a deeply personal experience. He had always wanted to visit the historic Gorée Island, a place he had studied in college, yet standing on its soil filled him with anger. Walking through the narrow pathways, he clenched his fists, the weight of history pressing down. The crumbling walls of the island's buildings seemed to whisper the horrific stories of the past. Inside the museum, Gary moved slowly, taking in the details that were painfully presented. His eyes traced the worn artifacts, his jaw tightening as he approached the infamous Door of No Return. Each display was more shocking than the last, a sobering reminder of the cruelty that once existed there. With each click of his camera, he sought to capture the haunting beauty of the island, his heart heavy with the realization that such a place still stood as a grim monument to human suffering. The island's atmosphere lingered with echoes of sorrow, leaving him unsettled long after he left. The tour concluded with the duo returning to Los Angeles on August 17th after connecting through Paris. Reflecting on the trip, Marvin and Gary emphasized the importance of such visits to maintain and strengthen the Academy's initiatives in West Africa. Despite the challenges faced, their commitment to providing opportunities for student athletes in the region remains unwavering as they continue to build bridges between sports and education. This tour marks another milestone in M2 Academy's ongoing mission to empower the youth of West Africa, ensuring that every trip leaves a lasting impact on both the local communities and the Academy's leadership. The 2024 trip provided valuable insight into what we would like to continue doing and the additional programs we plan to implement over the next year and in the 3 to 5 year period. Looking ahead, we plan to return to West Africa in April 2025 and possibly again in August to further develop our initiatives. Through monthly Zoom seminars and the Swish, Skills, Wisdom, Insights, Strategies in Hoops materials, we aim to provide ongoing support to our West African coaching family. These efforts will lay the groundwork for the creation of a West African Coaches Association and the eventual opening of additional M2 athletic academies outside of Nigeria, catering to both boys and girls. Marvin first traveled to Nigeria in 1999 and has returned almost every year for recruiting and coaching clinics. But the future holds even more possibilities as M2 Academy continues to expand its reach and impact across the continent.
Thank you. Thank you.